Have you ever lost weight just to look skinny fat and thought to yourself, what the fuck happened? I thought I'd be jacked by now. Well, then this is the video for you. Because something so many people get wrong is not understanding the difference between weight loss and fat loss and the drastic differences between the two. Yes, they sound the same, but there is a drastic difference between them when it comes to how your body will look. And we're gonna go over an ideal training plan to avoid looking skinny fat in the future. If you're new here, welcome, and thanks for spending your time here. My name's Noah, and I've been a full-time personal trainer for the last 5 years after graduating from my bachelor's of kinesiology. And I'm just trying to cut through all the bullshit that's out there in the fitness industry so that you're able to lose weight in the easiest way possible. So let's start by going over what most people do when they want to lose weight. They start by cutting their calories as low as possible. And then they end up cutting out all carbs because carbs keep you fat. But we're gonna debunk this later on in the video. And then they do as much cardio as they can so they can burn as many calories as possible, which is actually total bullshit. And I debunked that in an older video, which I'll leave linked in the description below for those of you that are curious. And doing this, you might have actually lost some weight pretty quickly. And you might think, what's the problem, right? Well, where the fuck do I start? Let's start with cutting out carbs. So here's the thing with cutting out carbs. Yes, you're gonna lose weight, but most of that weight is gonna come from losing water weight, not from actual fat loss. Because carbs cause our body to hold on to more water than fats or proteins do. So you will see the scale go down pretty rapidly at the start. And then you get all excited and start to slowly introduce carbs back into your diet because they're fucking delicious and nobody wants to cut out carbs for the rest of their life. But then that scale starts to climb back up and you run to Facebook telling everybody, it's the fucking carbs. The carbs make you fat. I lost weight when I cut them out. But that just isn't the case. And here's the thing, when most people want to lose weight, they have some sort of image in mind, and usually that contains some sort of muscular physique in some way or another. And to get there, there is a difference between good weight loss and bad weight loss. But more on that in a little bit. We're going to continue breaking this approach down first. So cutting calories as low as possible and doing as much cardio as possible. The idea behind this is that it creates the biggest calorie deficit. That's technically true, although it isn't the easiest way to do that. And the bigger the deficit, the quicker we lose weight. Again, that's technically true, but it's just a horrible approach to get the look that most people want. Because how are you gonna build muscle if you never pick up a weight? You can't. So doing this approach ends up with you looking skinny fat because you didn't care if that weight loss came from fat, water weight, or even muscle mass. Your only goal was to see that number on the scale go down. And that number on the scale is just a tiny measurement of your progress. So then what should you do to actually get to where you want to go? Well, for starters, you need to stop paying attention to the number on the scale because for the most part, it just doesn't fucking matter. And that's because we don't actually care about just losing weight. We want to lose fat. And we actually want to build a little bit of muscle in the process. So you might have heard that a pound of muscle weighs more than a pound of fat. And that's actually not true. Let's put it this way. What weighs more, a pound of bricks or a pound of feathers? Well, it's a trick question because they actually both weigh a pound. But that pound of bricks is going to take up much less space than that pound of feathers would. And when it comes to muscle and fat, it's a similar circumstance. That pound of muscle is going to take up less space than that pound of fat, i.e., muscle is the bricks and fat is the feathers. So what does that mean for our training plan? Well, if you've never touched a weight before, you're going to get what we call newbie gains, which just means you're going to make progress much faster than someone who's been doing it for a long time. Because our progress isn't linear and it starts to taper off the longer you do it. But that means when you first start out, you can build muscle more rapidly than normal. And because muscle is more dense than fat, it means you could be losing fat and building muscle without the number on the scale changing all that much. Which really fucks with a lot of people's heads because they think they should be making progress. But because their only measurement of progress is the scale and it's not changing, they inevitably quit because they're not seeing progress. So to fix this, we need to focus on other forms of progress along with our weight. Because that weight loss plateau is only going to be temporary. And as long as you stick to the process, you will start to see that number on the scale go down. So here's 4 ways that I want you to measure your progress. 1 is your waist measurement shrinking. If so, then you are losing fat even if the scale isn't changing. 2, are your clothes fitting better? 3, do you look better in the mirror? And 4, are you getting stronger in the gym? Because these are all ways you can make progress towards your long-term goals without the number on the scale going down. And if you need to, just don't even step on the scale for a couple of months. Just focus on these other forms of progress, and you'll be amazed at how much progress you actually make after a couple months of consistent action. So now let's get into what your training program should actually look like to build muscle and lose fat. And it's so much simpler than what most people online are gonna have you believe. First, you're gonna lift weights at least twice a week, but ideally 3 to 4 times a week. And to keep it simple, you're just gonna do full body workouts. And if you don't know what to do, I have a beginner workout short that I'll leave linked in the description below. And what most people really enjoy is you're not gonna do any traditional cardio. You're just gonna focus on hitting a step count. And if you wanna know the reason behind that, I made a video debunking why cardio is bullshit for fat loss, and I'll leave that linked in the description below. And we do need to make some diet changes, but you're not gonna starve yourself because you do need calories to build muscle. So here's what the 2 main focuses of our diet are gonna be. 1, you need to get minimum 0.8 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. And to answer a couple of your questions, there are a couple of different ranges out there. This is just an estimate, but you do want to be around this number. And we're using our goal body weight because for most people, if we eat our current body weight in protein, it's just going to be way too unattainable of a number to reach. So if your goal body weight is 200 pounds, you want to eat at least 160 grams of protein per day. And the second focus of our diet is going to be a small calorie deficit of 200 to 500 calories at the absolute most. This is going to help you lean out, but as long as you're hitting your protein target, you will still be able to build some muscle at the same time. And that's the difference between weight loss and fat loss, and why you look skinny fat after losing weight. And as promised, here's my video breaking down why cardio is bullshit for fat loss. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you. Until next time, peace.